Hello viewers, it's Evans Racing here and welcome back to round 6 of our F1 2022 mod career as Kevin Magnussen in the Haas car, where we are in Monaco, where we will be racing around Monaco for round 6. So without anything else to do, let's jump straight into qualifying. So we've done straight onto our onboard for our first quali run in Monaco. We've got DRS open flat out now onto the straight. We speed things up because it's only our first one, just to get used to the track again. Because I haven't played around here for a little while, and plus I'm not very good around here, so we weren't expecting big things around here. We're coming through here now. We're going through the tunnel now. Flat out, heavy braking through the chicane here. Now into the last two corners. DRS open and across the line for a 1 minute 12.0. Now we switch onto our second qualifying lap, where we brake heavy into the first turn. We do cut the corner a little bit, which gains us 3 tenths on our last one. Now we come through turn 4, I think this is. Now into Casino Square. No, I can't remember the names of the corners. But either way, we are up by 7 tenths, 8 tenths now. Now into the slowest hairpin, well, on the calendar. Now into this corner here, just hitting the curve there. Through the tunnel we go, flat out through here. Now coming out of the tunnel and braking heavy into the braking zone, using all the curb on the inside there to gain as much time as we can. Staying away from the curb as much as we can on the inside there. Just trying to be as close as we can to the wall. We lose the rear end, however we are still gaining on our last lap. We got DRS open flat out now for a 1 minute 11.9. So this is the starting grid for today. So we've got Max Verstappen, who got pole during qualifying. Then we've got Charles Leclerc alongside him, with Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz right behind. Then we've got both the Mercedes of Russell and Hamilton. Then we've got Fernando Alonso and our teammate Mick Schumacher in P8. We've got Lando Norris and ourselves in P10. We've got Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Ricardo, Bottas. Then we've got Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou, Sebastian Vettel, Alex Albon. And on the last row we've got Lance Stroll and Nicholas Latifi, who's always at the back. So this is our strategy for today. We're going for the one stop. We're going to go from the soft tyre to the medium tyre on lap 6. We're going to be pitting roughly around lap 6, and we're going to take some fuel out of the car to make our car as light as possible. So now we go to the 5 red lights, and off we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. We get off to a decent start here. We go 3 wide into the first corner. We're now up into P8 now, right behind Fernando Alonso now, with our teammate just behind us, who we overtook on the start. We now make a move down the inside of Fernando Alonso. Now we're coming into the hairpin where we make our move. We're right behind Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion. Literally touching his gearbox almost. Now coming through this corner, you want to stay away from that curb as much as you can so it doesn't unsettle the car. Now we go through the tunnel now with ERS being deployed. Heavy braking to catch up to Hamilton. We go a bit wide here, and we have to cut the corner a little bit so we don't make contact with the 7-time world champion. We get a legal overtake, but we give the place back to him. And now we're just keeping it as close as we can to the wall. We do cut the corner a little bit because we compromised our line through there, which wasn't the best. Then we come through the last 2 corners, which is the very slow. Accelerate now. We switch over to Lando Norris now, who comes into the pit lane at the end of lap 1, so he must have got damage during the start of the race, as he comes in to fit on his new front wing. So he must have got some damage on the front wing. A decent pit stop by the McLaren pit crew, and off he goes back out into the race. Now we jump back onto our onboard now, where we are chasing down the 7-time world champion of Lewis Hamilton. Now into Casino Square, I believe this is. I'm not sure about the corner names, but I'm going to try and remember them to the best I can. Through the hairpin we go. We use all the curb on the inside here. You don't want to use it. Actually, we touch the wall. We touch the barrier on the outside there. Now we're using ERS to try and catch up with Hamilton, as it's now 1.1 of a gap between us. We cut the corner again. A warning for that, luckily not a penalty. Now we're coming into the swimming pool corner, I think it's called, or whatever. Braking heavy into the last couple of corners now, where we're right behind Lewis Hamilton. Still got no DRS because we are not on lap 3 yet, where DRS is now being employed. Now we switch. Now we come later on into the race, now on lap 6, where we are now 4.2 seconds behind Hamilton. We just haven't got the pace around here to stay with the Mercs, with the Mercedes. And as you can see, we're just wobbling all over the place. We just haven't got the grip around here, especially on these used softs, which are like on like 40% tyre wear right now. So we've got not a lot of grip. Currently in P7 though, so we are still doing it's still a decent race so far. Just keeping it nice and close to the barriers without making us any contact. We switch over to Carlos Sainz now, who is now coming into the pits, as well as Sergio Perez, I believe. Yes, Sergio Perez also comes into the pit lane with Carlos Sainz. Fast pit stop by the Red Bull pit crew, but that's not a surprise, as they're always the quickest. As now we come in for our pit stop. Now, with Hamilton just leaving his pit box now, and we come in with Fernando Alonso. And now we come into our pit box where we are replacing our front wing. So we must have got damage from somewhere that I don't remember from, because we didn't get a pop-up saying we got any damage, and Jeff didn't tell us to pit. So I'm quite surprised about that, but we come straight back out. We're now in P19, sorry. We got over the white line there. Luckily we don't get a penalty for crossing the white line. And now we're gonna put our head down and just gain as much time as we can on these fresh mediums on Lando Norris and the other drivers, as we are now 10.9 seconds behind Hamilton, where that was 4 seconds before we pitted. But we are slowly gaining on Lando Norris. It's not, well, I say we're gaining, it's just gone up to 2.1 of a second of the gap. As now Max Verstappen, the leader of the race at the moment, now comes into the pit lane with his championship rival Charles Leclerc, who also comes into the pit lane. Another great stop by the Red Bull pit crew. Quick in, quick out. And also George Russell comes into the pit lane in P3. Our teammate of Mick Schumacher comes in the pit lane, as well as Esteban Ocon. And so does all the other drivers, as Ricardo and lots of other drivers also come into the pit lane to fit on their new sets of tyres. As we look up there into the last few corners, where we are now overtaking people who are in the pit lane at the moment, as they're all on the pit exit here, keeping it nice and close. We cut the corner a little bit, we don't get a warning for that, luckily, and we do gain a bit of time here on Daniel Ricciardo. Now we're coming into this lowest corner on the calendar, which is the hairpin here. You want to use all the curb on the inside here, keeping it just within track limits. Going out wide, using all the curb on the outside. When I say all the curb, it's only a little bit of the curb because it is a street circuit. And now we come on later on in the race, where we are now on lap 9, still behind Daniel Ricciardo, and we are currently 2 tenths behind.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
Going flat out through here, braking heavy. Another personal best of Sector 1. As now we try and make a move down the inside on Daniel Ricciardo in the hairpin, and we get the job done. Nice and easy, but challenging at the same time because of how narrow it was round there. But that is us up into P15 now, where we are now going to be chasing after Daniel Ricciardo's teammate of Lando Norris, who's in P14. We cut the corner a little bit there just to gain as much time. So we are cutting corners a little bit, but we are keeping it within track limits according to the FIA. We do touch the barrier there, I think, because you have to keep it nice and close to the barrier to gain as much time as you can. And as you can see, we're right on Lando Norris's gearbox now. We now got DRS as well. Can we make a move into the first corner? Yes, we can. We're going to try and make a move running outside of turn 1. And we do make a bit of contact, but we do make the move, and that's us up into P14 now. As now we come into the Casino Square. Now we're coming through. Now we're coming into the hairpin once again. We're going into first gear there to get the car turned in as much as possible. Just missing the barrier there, had to correct our turning. Flat out through the tunnel here. DRS being deployed, and now we are catching up to Esteban Ocon, who is 2.4 tenths, 2.4 seconds in front of us. With our teammate 4.6 seconds in front of us, and we're just trying to catch up to them in front as we go over the club a bit too aggressively, and we lose the rear end, but we managed to hold it, and we turn it into a nice drift. Now we come on later on in the race, where we are now on lap 12, where we are now in traffic as we go through the hairpin now. And as you can see, there's about 5 cars in front of us. So I think someone might have had, I think someone's got a bit of damage in front of us. So we're going to try and make the most of it and overtake as many people as we can right now. As now we brake heavy and we go over the curb a little bit, and we make a move on Esteban Ocon, and we make contact. And it's Esteban Ocon who comes off worse as he loses his whole front wing now. And that's up into P13. Some people may say it's well, we lose the rear end quite a lot there. Some people may say that was an aggressive move, but he turned in on us, so and he came off worse. So for me, that's a recent incident. But we move on now in P13 now, as a couple of people pit, I believe, with Ocon pitting for a new front wing with the damage. And now we are right behind our teammate now. Where can we make a move in Sector 2 now? We're going to brake heavy. Now we're going to come up to the hairpin corner now, where we're going to make a move just like we did on Daniel Ricciardo, but we're going to make it on our teammate now. No team orders around here, and that's us up into P12 now.
You've moved up into P12. P12 now.
Braking heavy now, and we're just trying to catch up to Fernando Alonso. And as you can see, we've gained a lot of time now, as we are now only 1.1 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton, where that used to be almost 12 seconds earlier on as we go over the curve again. And it's Alex Albon, no, it's Nicholas Latifi who comes into the pit lane to put on some fresh tyres as we cut the corner a little bit there, but we gain a lot of time on Fernando Alonso. Where can we make a move in the next couple of corners on the Spaniards? Braking heavy now, keeping it nice and close to the barriers, into the hairpin corner. Go over the curb a little bit here, and then using all the curb on the inside here. Just touching the inside curb here and the outside curb there. Through the tunnel we go with ERS being deployed, and we just haven't got the pace to overtake Fernando Alonso at the moment. And Pierre Gasly, who's currently leading the Monaco Grand Prix right now comes into the pit lane to fit on his new fresh set of soft compound tyre, which I believe that would be. And now Alex Albon comes into the pit lane to fit on his new set of tyres, as well as Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time world champion in the Aston Martin, also comes in to the pit lane. And now we are on lap 14, almost coming on to lap 15, where we are still behind Fernando Alonso, but we are within DRS range as we overtake a couple of people, as we just missed Pierre Gasly on the exit of the pit lane there, and we move up into P8 now as a couple of drivers had pitted for new sets of tyres. And now we switch on later on in the lap to lap 18 now of 20, where we are still stuck behind Fernando Alonso, still within DRS range just about, but it's looking unlikely we're going to be making a move here. And at this point of time we have high tyre wear at the moment. I think we're on like 30 or 40% tyre wear, and this because it's Monaco, I'm not very good around here, I'm just going to ease off the pace here and just settle for P8 maybe, or we may push and try and make a move, but as you can see we've got no grip at all as we are sliding all over the place, just missing the barriers on near enough every corner. Now we come through the tunnel now using ERS to try and stay with Fernando Alonso, but as you can see it's now gone up to 2.1 seconds to the gap ahead. Keeping it nice and close to the wall the barrier on the inside there, using a little bit of the curve on the inside here. As we come to this angle, we cut the corner a little bit there, as well, and we go over the sausage curve. And now we come on to the last few corners of lap 19, coming on to lap 20, where we are 2.4 seconds behind Fernando Alonso, with our teammate 3/10 behind us, who doesn't make a move on us into the first corner, but will he make a move later on the lap? We will have to wait and see. As we're using all our ERS, as you can see, we've just got like 2% left, just not allowing our teammate to overtake us, as we are still in P8 right now, 3 seconds to the gap ahead and 3/10 to the car behind. Coming into the hairpin now for the last time of this season and this race, as now we switch over to Max Verstappen, who is coming through the last couple of corners with Charles Leclerc, his championship rival, right behind him. And Max Verstappen comes across the line for first place, and Charles Leclerc in for second place. Carlos Sainz coming through the last corners as well. He's going flat out through here, and he comes across the line for P3, and that's our podium finishes of Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. So Max Verstappen wins the Monaco Grand Prix for 2022. Will we see that in real life? We'll have to wait and see. As now we as ourselves now come through the last couple of corners with our teammate right behind us, as well as Pierre Gasly, and we come home for P8 and our teammate in P9. So it's a very good race for Haas as a whole, and it is ourselves, Kevin Magnussen, who gets driver of the day
victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally.
So it is Max Verstappen who wins the Monaco Grand Prix, with Charles Leclerc, who is from Monaco, in second place, who just misses out on the race win, and Carlos Sainz, his teammate, in P3, and that sees our podium finishers. And now we look at the driver standings, where Max Verstappen continues to lead the championship at the moment, with Carlos Sainz in second place, just with 22 points behind behind Max Verstappen, and then Charles Leclerc is 41 points behind Max Verstappen, and we stay in P9 ahead of our teammate, and we are joined. Actually, no, we're joined 8th place in the Drivers' Championship with Pierre Gasly, where Kevin Magnussen, ourselves, and Pierre Gasly are both on 15 points, with our teammate 3 points behind us. As now we look at the constructors standing, and as you can see, we no one has made no one's overtook anyone in the constructors standings. Red Bull stay in first place, and they are 19 points ahead of Ferrari. Mercedes are for third place, and I think they might not get any better than that, as they are 107 points behind the Red Bulls. And we see ourselves, Haas, in P4 with 27 points and 191 points behind the Red Bulls. And it is still Williams and Aston Martin who still, to this very till round 6, still have no points in the constructor standings. So that is it for round 6 of our F1 2022 mod career in the Haas car. If you have enjoyed it, please do subscribe down below for more racing content. Please do like the video if you have enjoyed round 6 of the Monaco Grand Prix, and I'll see you all in round 7 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, where hopefully we can beat our teammate once again.
Summer.